All right, so today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about different cuts of wood, softwoods, hardwoods, and heartwood and softwood. So first, with cuts of wood, we're going to talk about three basic cuts. Okay, there's flat sawn, which if you can look at the end of this, the grain goes pretty much flat with the two main faces, okay? Flat sawn. Now that also tends to cup the most, and you'll notice that these rings, what would be the annular rings on the tree, go like this. So the center of the tree would be up here, okay? And you notice this cups opposite the direction of the annular rings. So it's just something to keep in mind. Quarter-sawn. Quarter-sawn is probably one of the more stable cuts. And if you're going to use it for a plank or something to walk on, you probably want quarter-sawn. It's also one of the strongest to step on if you're going to use it as a, for scaffolding or something. So quarter-sawn is where the grain goes up and down like this. All right. Now, rift sawn is kind of a mixture of the two. It's where it's at an angle. It goes at an angle. So that's a good kind of in between. It's still very stable, especially compared to flat sawn, but it's not quite as expensive as quarter sawn. Okay. Now, hardwood, softwoods. Hardwoods, yes, they're normally harder than softwoods. Softwoods are normally softer than hardwoods, but predominantly softwoods, think of them as conifers, anything with needles. Hardwoods, think of them as deciduous, anything with leaves. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. As a general rule of thumb, yes, hardwoods are harder and softwoods are softer. Now, next thing, people talk about heartwood and sapwood on trees. So it's pretty predominant on certain species and not so much on others. Walnut, it's very, very obvious. So if you can look at this, okay, this is wane. This is on the outside of the tree. You can even see some bark. So it's very light in color. That's sapwood, all the way around the outside of the tree. Heartwood, near the heart of the tree on walnut, is much darker. So some other species like cherry, for example, it's pretty predominant on. So let's go over, I want to show you guys a log and where these cuts between flat, rift, and quarter-sawn would come out of a log. Okay, hopefully you guys can see these. This is a log, we just sliced each of the sides off. The center of the tree is here, that's called the pith. You notice all these cracks radiate from the pith, okay? So if you're gonna get a big wide board from Home Depot or something, you think you're getting an awesome deal on a wide board, but if you can see the pith, the center of the tree there, it's gonna crack or bend or warp around there. You probably don't want that one. Now, flat sawn. Flat sawn comes from the very outside edges where the grain kind of goes with the surface of the wood. So this would be a chunk of flat sawn wood. Over here at the edge where the annular rings would be coming around, curving, this would be rift sawn, okay? Down here directly straight across on each side, whether it's here, 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 so bottom, top, left, right, is quarter sawn, okay? Where you see that grain going straight up and down. So I could get the same piece, but I'd have to cut it right there, okay? So you guys will hopefully see this LT28 a little later in another video. Maybe we'll finish cutting up this log. So have a good day.